Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. So on the first update of the day, this is the most recent update of William Bonac. He is currently sitting at 264 pounds, the biggest he's ever been in any offseason, ahead of this year's Olympia. Now, after taking second to Brandon Curry at this year's Arnold Classic, arguably could have won, the judges told William he needs to fix the gyno and the midsection. And once again, I don't think William's midsection was necessarily bloated or distended. He just doesn't have the best genetic makeup for abs, unlike Brandon Curry, who almost has perfect abs. But I mean, is it a bodybuilding show or is this man's physique? But I'm excited to see William on stage in December. I believe he can be as high as second place this year. And in the next update of the day, these are some recent updates of Hunter Labrada. And taking a look at all of Hunter's recent updates, in specific the posing video that we shared a couple days ago, I believe Hunter is going to be a very serious threat. Keep in mind, guys, the guys that are great posers, I feel like they can get an edge on a lot of these guys. Samson Dowd is also an incredible poser. So Hunter really knows how to present himself. As long as he's able to nail his conditioning, it's a possibility he may be able to move up a place. A lot of people are putting Hunter outside the top 6, maybe even lower than that. But I'm very impressed by his recent updates. And switching over to Regan Grimes, these are the latest updates from him. And Regan has definitely put on some size already, man. As I mentioned in my last video, I believe, Regan is out of this year's Olympia. He really wants to take some time off to grow. Regan said he's been competing for 10 years, doing at least 3 shows a year. Never really took any serious time off. He also took a step back. That year he went down to classic physique. But I'm excited to see this guy on stage next year. I believe this was the perfect decision for him. And I believe the main area Regan needs to bring up is the arms. Imagine Regan Grimes with some crazy arms, man. Mr. Olympia level physique. And in the next update of the day, these are the most recent updates of Marc Hector ahead of this weekend's Arnold Classic UK. And the weeks honestly just flew by, guys. Seems like we were just 4 weeks out. But honestly, Marc is probably the biggest wild card for this show. As we all know, he has crazy genetics, man. He has the bubbliness, the roundness. But we're all worried about the legs and how they're going to look next to the legs of James Hollingshead, Martin Fitzwater, and Andrew Jack, who all have outstanding quads, especially Andrew Jack. Marc Hector has put on a ton of size, but how much of that size has actually went to the legs? Now, speaking of the Arnold Classic UK, as I was making this video, James Hollingshead put out these updates, and James is looking better than ever. More than anything, regardless how he places at this show, I believe as long as James shows up better than the Mr. Olympia, as long as he peaks well, I think it would be a plus for him. But who knows? Let me know in the comment section below. How do you guys feel about James Hollingshead at this show? I've actually seen a couple people that have James winning this Arnold Classic UK. Now switching over to Brett Wilkin, the most recent updates from him. And this was actually from Brett with his posing coach. And I think they actually made some great adjustments. I do slightly like the execution on the left a little bit more, but on the right, the abs are a little bit more prominent. And also it seems like Brett was getting a little bit harder as he was going through these posing sessions. But in this back double bicep, you can definitely tell how much posing actually matters. Brett looks like he's put on some size, but there is also a little bit of darkness of lighting around the back. But anyway, I'm very excited to see Brett at this year's Romania Pro. Hopefully he can qualify for this year's Mr. Olympia. And in case anyone forgot, Brett Wilkin placed second at the 2021 Chicago Pro, right behind Hunter Labrada, and some people actually had him winning that show. As we know, Hunter went on to that year's Mr. Olympia to place 4th. But actually, Brett Wilkin beat Mo Shaban in this show as well. Shaban placed 10th at the Mr. Olympia. So Brett has battled it out and actually beat some very good guys in the sport. Hopefully he's able to nail his peak and show his true potential. I still think people have written Brett off after the Arnold Classic. And in the next update of the day, the video on the right was posted up today by Patrick Moore. And the caption said 2023. Now Patrick Moore did suffer a very serious Achilles injury earlier this year, but he has recovered from that and is slowly working his way back into the gym. I'm not sure if this video is recent because Patrick looks ripped, man. But some people talk down on Patrick. They say, how long is he going to be the future? Patrick has an incredible physique, man. And Lee Haney himself said Patrick is one of his favorites. Now, in the next update of the day, the most recent update of Michal Krizo, seems like Krizo trains arms 3 or 4 times a week. But in all seriousness, excited to see this guy, man. Is he going to make it to this year's Olympia? As I've said in the past video, I believe Krizo can place as high as top 10, and all of the top 10 guys are already qualified for the Olympia. So if Krizo is able to earn his pro card at the Amateur Olympia, I think he has a very good chance at winning their Prague Pro and going to this year's Olympia. Now switching over to Antoine Vaillant, these are the most recent updates from him. I believe we're actually around 12 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia, maybe 13. Antoine won this year's Chicago Pro, close second in Vancouver to Ian Valliere. A lot of people had Antoine winning the show, man. Said he was a lot more detailed and had great calves. But hopefully Antoine looks even better at this year's Olympia. Now, in the next update of the day, Andrea Muzi did pull out of this year's Arnold Classic UK. Andrea has done 6 shows this year, has 29 points. It's actually first in points, so they're pretty much going to shut it down to this year's Olympia. Andrea Presti was also supposed to be in this show. I believe he's going to pull out. Vlad Suaruchko, I think he's going to be in this show, and he also is probably going to pull out because he just earned a qualification in Yamamoto. Just my thoughts, guys, not 100% confirmed. And switching over to 212, these are the most recent updates of our former 212 Olympia champion, Kamal Elgargni. Kamal is looking massive, man. Looks like he's probably 230 plus. And it's very possible because as we know, when Kamal did those open shows, he was around 220 pounds. Now, he did say this will be his last show unless they have a Masters Olympia, meaning this 212 Olympia, he's all in. He's going for the title. Him and Nick Walker are both working together, both hoping to come in and win Olympias. I'm excited to see Kamal compete. Now, switching over to Shaun Clarida, this guy's looking absolutely massive. And of course, Shaun Clarida has to be the favorite to win the title, with us hearing Derek Lunsford is going to go up to open. Actually, last year between Shaun and Derek, some people actually had Shaun Clarida still beating Derek Lunsford. Now, I actually took this footage from Shaun's YouTube channel. Be sure to go subscribe to it. I will leave the link in the description below. This guy's absolutely full-blown, man. Mini Ronnie Coleman. If you guys have ever seen the legendary photo of Ronnie Coleman doing the same exact exercise, a lot bigger though, but I'm excited to see Shaun Clarida at this year's Olympia. Hopefully he's able to regain the 212 Olympia title, and I believe Shaun can hold that title for a while. Now, switching over to classic physique, Mike Sommerfeld recently did a guest posing, and Mike Sommerfeld was 7th at last year's Olympia. Now, taking a look at his physique here, he definitely looks a little bit smaller than some of the other guys at this point in the offseason, but Mike could just be a guy that likes to get in shape early. Now, from what I'm seeing here, it seems like Mike did not put on as much size in the offseason as a lot of the other guys in the classic physique division did, like, you know, Ramon Dino, maybe Urs Kalasinski. So I'm not really sure how he's going to stack up against these guys. Even a guy like Fabian Meyer, who he placed 1 place ahead last year, Fabian made some incredible improvements and looks absolutely massive. But once again, we are about 13 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia, so we can't truly judge how someone is going to look on stage. Now, speaking of conditioning, Michael Daboul ahead of this weekend's Arnold Classic UK, one of the most conditioned guys we have in the sport of bodybuilding altogether. This guy has definitely made some improvements. Posing also looks a lot better. And just with him being so tall, you know it's going to take time to add on size to that frame. And I'm wondering how far is he from hitting that classic physique weight cap. But this level of conditioning definitely has to be rewarded. Actually, I believe Michael and Wesley are having a competition to see who can be the most conditioned for this show, because both of those guys have complete death faces right now. Also competing in this weekend's Arnold Classic UK, we have Jose Berry or Madelman. I believe this guy actually won 3 or 4 classic physique pro shows last year. He has an incredible physique, but I do think he looks a little bit more like a 212 guy, so he could run into the issue of, you know, a guy beating him because he's structurally better. But muscle for muscle, this guy is incredible. And ending this video here with the archive of the day, you guys let me know in the comment section below which legendary bodybuilder is this. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and that's it. I'm out.